We give thanks and praises unto you for your goodness, your mercy, and your love, for the opportunity to stand in this day and time with thou on our mind. Glory and praise to you, Heavenly King. Please, O Most High God, be in the midst of us, teach us thy way without shame. I thank you for the more already, and I pray you bless him with long life and ample safety. Help the body and lighten the mind without shame. Thank you for the young man, Nancy, that come out all the time, Almighty God, to assist in all others, and for our family online. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Amen. Hey, shalom, Master.
Is this a club or is this still the same place?
No, this is a place of worship.
Oh, I see.
Okay, no problem.
They must be.
Shalom, Ken. How's everyone doing?
So.
That's called Numerical. Now, this is going to be the last Hebrew class of this particular Gregorian month of quote-unquote April. Next week, during the Feast of Unleavened Bread, we're not going to have one. But there will be one, Father bless, Father willing, May 2nd, which is the quote-unquote Monday after that. All right? So, how's everybody online doing? All right. That's told me over. Now, we're going to go over the things that we went over. This is class number 7, right? All right. So, we're going to go over the things that we have been. We're going to go over the things that we've been going over. All right? And making logic and sense of the whole matter. All right? First, if you remember, we have the If you remember, we have the Hebrew alphabet. Aleph, Bet, Gamel, Dalet, He, Vav, Zayin, Tet, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samet, Ayin, He, Fe, Zadeh, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Kaf. That being the Hebrew alphabet. All right, 22 letters within itself. Now I want to explain the aspect of what we're looking at over here. This is basically a catch-up review aspect. We have Aleph, which makes no sound. It's a mute letter. So whatever vowel is with it is the sound that it makes. Bet will make the B sound. Gamel will make the G sound. Dalet will make the D sound. He will make the H sound. So by default, we all know and understand that Vav is the W sound, Zayin is Z sound, Chet is a KH sound, Tet is a T sound, Yod is a Y sound, Kaf being a K sound. Now these three are all actually synonymous. It's just showing you one with the Qamats, Qatan, with the Qamats, and with the Shabbat within it. But this letter right here is called the Kaf Sofit. And you only see this in what they call quote-unquote modern Hebrew. So ancient Hebrew, both the Kaf looked exactly the same, whether it be was in the middle or the end of the word. And it looked as this. All right? Sometimes as this. All right? So that's how that particular aspect was. Looks like a V or a check, you may say, with a line that goes in through it. All right? So that's how it was in the ancient days and in the ancient time. If you understand what we went over the first lesson, you would know and understand that what they call the Salorum inscription and so forth and so on, you will see that kind of letter there, all right? So next we have Lamed making the L sound, Mem making the M sound, Mem Sofit. Now I want to explain something. Everything with the Sofit goes at the end of the verb, all right? So that's just for edification purposes. Mem makes the M sound. Nun, which is my personal letter, actually makes the N sound. And Nun Sofit is the N sound at the end of words, all right? Like Shulchan. I'll give an example. All right, the word Shulchan means what? Anybody? Table. All right, K not C. So here we have Shulchan. This is the noun so feet, as you see at the end there. The plural of it is actually shulchanot. So if you've been following along, shulchanotai means my tables. Shulchanotecha, your tables when you speak it to a male. All right? So we already went over that. That's the lesson. What was lesson? 6. That was lesson 6 and 5. All right? So this is just a recap of it all. We're in a new holy time. On the month of Abib, we broke the word Abib down or explained it. Oh, I was advised to stop using the word breakdown because it offends some people. So it was explained a certain way. Okay, I respect that. Next we have Samet, making the S sound. Ayin, like Aleph, is a mute letter. Pay, say Sophie, P, F, and the final F. Now let me give you an example as far as that's concerned. You have Yo, and you have the Samet, right? Look at it like that. That's Yosef. That's one of the tribes of Israel. All right? So in that particular case, that's how that is in that particular aspect. All right? Then we have Zadeh Sophie. Give you an example of what the Zadeh Sophie. You have the word Eretz, meaning what? Anybody? Land or earth. All right? So you will notice you will only see the Kaf Sophie, Mem Sophie, Nun Sophie, Fe Sophie, or Zadeh Sophie at the end of words. The only Sophie that actually takes a vowel is the Kaf Sophie, and very rarely you will see it with the Nun Sophie. All right, so I just want that to be noted for edification purposes. Next, we have the letter Huf. I remember when I was a little kid, I used to go to preschool, and it was like black kids there, Jewish kids there, and I remember we was at the pool one day, and I remember seeing this particular letter, like, I remember seeing that in Coach like, but I didn't know Hebrew when I was like 4 years old. And that's some of the things that inspired me personally, like to get into the language itself, because it's an identity. Now, some people do turn other people off because they try to embarrass somebody in regards to knowing the language. And some people feel, well, if that's what Hebrew has done, you know, in your spirit, that's not good. So it turns some others off and they get defensive by saying, well, ancient Israel knew Hebrew, but they were so wicked. So you see that kind of argument sometimes, but at the same token, Hebrew doesn't make you righteous, and it doesn't make you wicked. The only thing it does, really, to a great extent, is make you more knowledgeable. But as we all know, between wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, knowledge is the baby. Understanding and wisdom trumps knowledge. So I just want to sit there and have that to be noted for edification purposes. Then we have Reish. All right, the difference between Dalet and Reish is this extends out and this curves. Difference between Bet and Kaf, this extends out and this curves. Sheen and Seen, we explained in the first lesson that Sheen or Thin is actually a derivative of Sheen. All right, so it has the same meanings, it has the same understanding, it has the same numerical value, and so forth and so on. Then we have Top, which many people say is really said as Top with the TH. This is where you get Shalom in the book of Leviticus, who was the Danite woman whose son had a fight with the Egyptian and so forth and so on. Then we get Beit El and so forth and so on. So that's just to give an example as far as that's concerned in that particular aspect. All right, so any questions, comments, complaints? No. All right, what we're going to go over now is in recapping what we're doing, because we're not getting into a whole new lesson today. Partly because, well, it's a new holy time for us. We're going to rehearse everything. In the 7 courses that we've done, we've only had 1 quiz. We're due for another quiz. So I don't want to keep on going on and extending on and extending on. Then when the quiz comes, it's like, bomb. Like, no, that's not, you know, fair. And I don't want to have to break up the quiz. So we're going to review everything, give the people some time between now and May 2nd to sit there and read on their own time and look at the videos that's been posted. And so that way, they can ask me questions or comments or so forth. All right, so, all right, we're going to use the same letters here and work the vowel aspect in that particular case. All right. Okay. Now, if you remember, let's just, for instance, look at this, the yod, and then we have the colon, right? That's yod, because Y and O spells yod. Then you have the samet. If you put a ZA, the H sound with it, S and A is say. And then you just join it all together, so you get yod say. All right? So that's something for edification purposes. For those who have been able to get the big Yehuda Pocket Hebrew Dictionary, you look up the word yasaf, and you may see in the Hebrew side, next to it, a little pay and a little yod. All right? I want to emphasize what I'm saying. When you look up the word yasaf from the Hebrew side of the Ben Yehuda Dictionary, right, you may see a little pay and yod going further toward the English side of it, or going toward the left side of it. That pay and yod signifies it's a pay yod verb. Any verb in Hebrew that begins with the letter yod is classified as a pay yod verb. All right, so just want to sit there and have that to be noted. Then, if you take some of those same vowels, let's just take what's written here as shulchan, right? You have the sheen, and then you have the kibbutz making the u sound. Now I want to explain something. This here making the u sound and the vowel as a shuruk, both of them make the same exact sound. And as stated, you see this more when you go into later chapters of the book of Exodus. And you see this u sound throughout the entire book. All right, so just want to let that be noted for edification purposes. The sheen and the u, the shu aspect. Now, if you remember, we also went over this vowel right here, the shawah. Now, we used the word Israel before to show how the shawah actually works, because that's the word that most of us are more familiar with in Hebrew. All right? So, just want that to be noted for edification purposes. We have the lamed and all right, so we got the lamed with it, joins with it. So now you got the u and the l, shul. All right, so that's how that works in that particular case. Then we have the kwamas, or the patak part of it, underneath the het. Remember we said that the word het makes the k sound, het, right? In that particular aspect with the ah, so it's shu, shul. Remember with the shawah, you join it with whatever precedes it. So in this case, with the sheen and the kibbutz, you join that together, you get shu, ken ah, and then the lu, shu ha. That's how, if you want to break that word down, how it's read in that particular aspect. Dealing on with the same letters, same vowels, we have this word here, edes, right? This vowel right here is called the aspect of the sego, making the ed, EH sound, like ed, like pen, send, mend, tend, and so forth and so on. All right, make the ed sound. So this is edes. And we remember that aleph, the first letter, is a new letter, so it makes no sound. All right, so you then, you default, actually just say the first letter, the first vowel or the sound that's there, which is the S sound. Edes. If you remember from the ratio over here, then you have it with the S sound. All right, I want to emphasize something else too. This is called a sego, this is called a sego patak, but they actually both make the same S sound. Just in case people might have been looking or wondering what that's about. All right? The E and the R and the E making the red sound, and then our buddy over here, which is hardly ever used, the Zadeh Sophie. All right? So just want that to be noted for edification and clarity purposes. All right? So let us continue on and review of certain aspects and certain things. All right, next we have formation of a word. Because you have the aleph, the and the base. So you put that together. You don't say aleph, patak, ba. That's not how it's read. Though the letter itself has a name to it, you just sit there and say whatever sound is with it. All right, just for edification purposes. So then we have this one right here, Imam, which means mother. All right, So the aleph in the kirik sound, E. The mem in the pronouns, A. E, ma, and then the hey. Remember, we went over before, anytime you have the hey joined over to pronouns, that makes it a feminine noun. See, these rules, if you've been following along in the other lessons or looking at the notes that you might have taken, or so forth and so on, you'll begin to see how that pattern never actually deviates in most cases. Okay, so just want that to be noted for edification purposes. Then we have a word such as this. Akika. Ak means brother. Akika means your brother. You'll see that within the scriptures. All right? So want that to be noted for edification and reasoning and reading purposes. All right, we have the pamats, we have the kirik, the e, aki, and then remember our buddy over here, the kaf with the patak within it. We have that said as aki ka, your brother. Ak, brother, in this case showing the possession. One of the things to recap that we went over before is that when you're dealing in nouns in possession, which is something we spent a great deal on the last 2 weeks in the class, you have it to where it being shown near the possession always shown at the end of the noun, not within the noun or before it. All right? Okay. Questions, comments? No. Come up. How many? Come up. Yes. Come on. All right, so that's what that is in that particular case. For those who have just joined on, what we are doing is recapping what we went over. This is lesson number 7. It just happened to be completion, like 7 in Hebrew culture is a completion aspect. And we're going to recap over everything because it's online, but it's still not always the best to just go, okay, I wouldn't want to say cold turkey, but just dolo. I would just go online and just go from there. I want this lesson, Father Bless, to be posted so that way, if you do go and read the other 6 lessons that was done, you can collaborate with this for edification purposes. All right, so that's something I want to sit there and emphasize as far as that's concerned in that particular case. Now, if you remember, we went over the fact as well that hey and tau are feminine letters. All right? This is very important within Hebrew. All right? Very important. We went over the fact, several aspects, that the letter hey is like the thumb of the Hebrew alphabet. All right? If you look at the other lessons that were posted, you will see that. And the importance of it, we went in depth last week. All right? So you can look that up if you care to. Now, without the letter hey, you will not have, not to sound disrespectful, a Hebrew language. All right, so I just want to sit there and have that to be noted. Now, in light of what we're speaking about as far as complete is concerned, you have the ancient that's looking at right here. Ha. Hita. The class. Ha. Kita. The class. Now, the word abal is the word that I'm going to be picking on for a little while. Because abal is the roots of ebed, which is the roots of ibri, which is the roots of ibrit. And they explain what these are here. We have abal. Abal means P-A-S-T, means past. Atid means future, and horrific means present. So you have the abal, which is the past, the atid, which is the future, and then you got the hoed, which is the present. All right? So abal, past. Ebir, if you're familiar with the old camps and everything like that, you have to know the genealogy. All right? Am I right? So, in that particular case, those who follow it know where I'm going. Ebir is one of the ancestors of Abraham. All right? So, that's something to be noted. Then we have Ibri, right? In and Ibri means Hebrew, or one who crossed over or passed over. So I'm going to emphasize this. Pass also means to cross over. All right? So I'm going to emphasize upon that. And then, a person who crosses over, Ibri, said as Hebrew, the one who crosses over, because it speaks about Abraham crossing over, is the spiritual and physical aspect of that. Then we have Ibrit, which means Hebrew, the language. Now, not trying to play advocate or advertise what I wrote, because the book that I wrote is actually available on Amazon for those who've been following along. And it's this book right here. It's entitled Egypt Talk and Writing. Did the Torah come from the culture of Talmud? This is available online. And in this book right here, I explain, in this particular book right here, I explain the aspect of saying that the children of Israel were referred to as the Ibrim. The Ibrim are the Hebrews. In the ancient Sumerian, that is referred to as the Abiru. In the side of Egyptian, it is basically referred to as the Abiru. All right, so that's why one has to understand that the thesis and the crisscrossing between languages. All right, so that's pointed out in here with the sources concerning that particular aspect. We have, so we're talking as far as Abar, Eber, Ibri, and Ibrit. Now, Ibrim is the people, right? Ibrim is the people, the Hebrews. Okay, that particular thing can be found on createspace.com. It can also be found on Amazon.com. And not to take away from the lesson, I'll post the info with the ISBN number and everything else when we conclude with this. I don't want to get sidetracked. All right, but I just wanted to show in that particular book, I went over the fact of what happened with the term Ibrim and the Kabiru, all right, the Hebrews. That, for instance, you go in Exodus chapter 5, the children of Israel were referred to as the Hebrews. And there's a reason why that particular case is. All right, so just want to sit there and emphasize that particular case here. Yes, sir. Oh, yes, that was hold up. What was that? That's part of the reason why I should get that side. So get more for the money for anyone who wanted it. It's mine, it's important. All right, so we're going to keep this word up for a reason and a purpose. And we're going to move on and recount what we went over. Now, we went over certain nouns, right? We went over, for instance, the word kad, a masculine noun, degel, flag, a masculine noun. We went over the word went over the word indirectly. No, this is when you need your shower. Okay. Similar means what? Anybody? Dress. Obviously, that's feminine. Now, similar, and we also went over the word kippah, right? Now, if we remember, we have, as stated, the karmata dehe next to it is a feminine noun. Feminine noun. Hat, feminine noun. There's no karmat or hey, masculine noun. All right, so just want that to be noted. We remember when we showed a possession of a feminine noun, that hey, right, becomes what? Anybody online or in the room? Hey becomes what when you show the possession inside of a feminine noun? Is there anybody sitting in the room who knows? Or is there anybody online? No. Okay. For those who may, or may, I'm sure that somebody knows, but just ain't type it or whatever, is tie. Right? This is how you get teapot, hat becomes teapot tea. My hat, teapot hat, teapot toe, teapot top. All right? Same with simla, simla ka, simla take, simla toe, simla ka. All right? So I just want that to be noted for edification purposes. We went into that very extensively, and that's actually within lesson 5 and lesson 6. All right? We also went into this aspect of the Hebrew grammar, Zed Ish, meaning this is a man. Right? Remember, is, a, and there is no Hebrew word for that. So it's understood. There is no Hebrew word for a, is, or a, and, or and. I don't want to be confused with and. There is a word for and, but there's no word for and. There's no word for a or is. All right, so that's understood within the Hebrew aspect. Okay, so we're saying Zed Ish, which means this is a man. This is a man, right? Then if you remember, ha means what? Anybody? The. So you said, for instance, Zed Ha'ish. This is the man. All right? This is the man. This is a man and the man. You notice the distinction by the letter or the word ha. Remember how the thumb in Hebrew? Okay. So then we have Zed Ish Tov. All right? Zed Ish Tov. Anybody in the room or online knows what Zed Ish Tov means? Bazadrikamayan. What they say? Anybody know what Zed Ish Tov means? This is a good man. Remember the word told? We say a lot of times, told, told. All right? Well, the adjective we went over in the past lessons, the adjective follows the noun. Good is describing, so therefore it's the adjective. An adjective describes the noun. Good. We don't use things like cold, sick. We don't use things like rob, bad. We don't want to give the bad spirit or the as far as I'm concerned, demonic spirit. Here's a Hebrew college book that says things, I got sick, I had to go to the hospital, I wasn't feeling too well, this happened, something bad happened. I'm like, you don't want that to be your introduction to something. You want positivity and up nice and good things. You understand? Just saying. So, today he's told. Right? This is a good man. Now, the point I want to keep emphasizing is the fact that the adjective follows the noun. Now, we went over the fact of how this particular thing works. This is a man. Ze ish. This man is ha-ish ha-ze. Ha-ish ha-ze. This man, as opposed to ze ha-ish, this is a man, or ze ha-ish, this is the man. When you're saying this man is ha-ish ha-ze. Ha-isha ha-zot. Ha-yeled ha-ze. Ha-yalda ha-zot. This man, this woman, this boy child, this female child. That's how that particular aspect works in that particular case. All right? So, we went over all of this. This is just a recap. Okay? Ha-ish ha-ze. Ha-ish ha-tov ha-ze. Meaning, this good man. There is no is when you're saying it in this form. Ha-ish ha-tov ha-ze. This good man. Good still following the noun. And instead of ze being in the beginning as here, ze, and you add the hey in front of that to show this good man. There is no word is in that. So this good man, ha-ish ha-tov ha-ze, holek kanuta. This good man is walking to the store. Ha-ish ha-tov ha-ze, holek bit sham shop. This good man is going to the bathroom. Just to give an example as far as that's concerned in that particular case. All right? Are there any questions or comments? Complaints, anything? All right. So, we're going to continue on. This is the grammar stuff that we went over. All right? For edification purposes, all of this is within all videos. All right? So, then is this. Masculine. Does anybody know what this is said as a feminine? Anybody here or online? How would you say this feminine aspect? Like if say is masculine, what's the feminine? Zot, correct. Right? Says masculine, Zot feminine. Zot ha-isha. This is the woman. Ha-isha ha-zot. This woman. You wouldn't say ha-isha ha-ze because that's grammatically incorrect as far as gender is concerned. All right, so I'm just hoping that these kind of points that are being made is understood. Questions, comments, anybody? At all? All right. So that practically, not fully, but practically wraps up what we went over, except a couple of vowels, not vowels, verb that we did. Okay, the vowel, pardon me, the verbs we went over was this, kata. Means what? Anybody? Kata means to write. Kabal means to guard or to watch. So, you have I'm good. No, we're gonna go. You do like that. Kata means to what? Now, we went over these similar things within the present tense. And we remember the last lesson, right? We had the X representing any letter, this vowel, right? So let's just say this is cote, right? You have it as O-N, right? O-N, cote, present tense, right here. Ani cote. Oh, we went over the pronoun. Ani, ata, anu, we are not, no. Ata, mata, him, hey. Then we got oti, ota, ota, oto, ota, otanu, otam, otan, and so forth and so on. Okay? So, just want that to be noted for edification purposes. So, in the present tense, masculine, now, present tense, which is the easiest, masculine, now, we have O, N, right? Now, in the feminine of it, a woman would say, Ani kotebet, all right? O, all right? Now, if you take the word shamar, it follows that same pattern. All right? We have O-N and O and X. If you take Kote, Shomer, Kotebet, Shomeret, all right? That follows that same pattern. Any questions about that so far? That is considered what they like to call regular nouns. In present tense, masculine singular and feminine singular. We did not today at least go over the masculine plural and the feminine plural, what we did in the past. Any questions or comments, complaints? Okay, so in continuing on, in this particular aspect, we got Atab, Shamar, Ratzah. Now, there's no question, so I'm going to erase this. Basically, like about Passover, it says Shamor, which is the root that's used there in Deuteronomy 16. Observe, right? Or guard or keep. All right, now we have our friend right here. We have the resh. I'm going to explain this. We have the resh making the R sound, Zadeh, the TZ sound, and our buddy, the thumb right here, the hey. All right, that we went over before. Hey being that particular aspect. Razah, as stated, means to want. But anytime you have any verb in Hebrew that ends with the letter hey, it's referred to as a lamed hey verb. I want to write this down. Right? Hey, lamed hey verbs. Right? Verbs ending in hey. Ratzah is one. Asa is one. It's quite a few, but that's just the two that come to my mind right now. Now, we're only going to deal with the present tense because that's all we went over within our time, within the last 6 lessons. All right? So, that form is like this. So a male, if we remember the pronouns, ani, ata, akuhi, anaknu, atamatemene. So you have roze, as we see here. Right? We're going to get this Hebrew in. Let's be the part. Right? Then we have masculine, singular. Then we have roza. Right? Not rosa, but roza. All right? Rosa is Spanish for rose. So just want to emphasize the distinction in that particular case. Now, how does this work? I want to explain. The hey aspect, as stated, lamed hey verbs or any verb that in it starts with in that particular case. So you have rose, meaning want or desire, present tense. So a male would say, Ani rotze. I want. In the video that I did with the brother Sha'al and the brother Daniela, I used this particular verb. We're speaking about the guy Harry Rosenberg, the Jewish rabbi thing. And I use this particular form right here. When I said, Ani rotze o kalishmo ala aki, kashahu koren bime yirmiyahu hanabi. Basically saying, I want you to hear, as my brother here, read from the book of Jeremiah the prophet. So, I just want that to be noted for edification purposes. Rotze, ani rotze. If I'm speaking to my friend right here, I would say ata rotze. If you're speaking about a third person in the masculine, you say hu rotze. And the same aspect goes with the feminine, you just change the pronouns once it comes down to the second and third person. Now, the female in the first person will still say ani rotza. Then you would say at rotza, meaning you want when speaking to a female, or he rotza when speaking to a female, when speaking about a female. So if I want to speak to a male as my friend over here, now say he rotza litol pavili, meaning she wants to write these words. That's how that particular thing works. All right. If you notice when I stated, I said he rotza litol pavili ha'ele. These words, not ele mili. These are the words, or these words, or these are the words, or these are words. Hamilin ha'ele, ha'anashim ha'ele, ha'ish hazeh. This man, these words, the word is dropped. This is what is going to come as you study Hebrew. It becomes more easier as time goes on. All right. So, like I stated back in March, teaching in Shema on that Shabbat, said when Nasi's report called me up to speak about the Hebrew, it is different, but it's not difficult. All right. So please understand that. I was snapping on myself saying earlier online, wow, when I see me in the video, I look all fat and pudgy and blah, blah. And the brothers who work out were saying, well, you can just mind over back. Once you get into it, whatever you put your mind to do, you can do it. So, similar premise, that's the thing with life. What we have to know, not to be preachy, is the Most High will give you what you want. You just got to make sure you want what is right before the Most High. Because if you desire wickedness, the Most High will bring that to you as well. You see? So, that's something to be noted and understood. All right, so we have Rotze, masculine singular, because if we don't have a God, we don't have a Sabbath God. Like we only deal with God on the Shabbat. The Most High, unlike the gods of Egypt, is the same day and night. Don't change. You understand? So I ain't trying to sit there and get off the subject, but just want to sit there and let that be noted and understood. Rotze, masculine singular. Then we have Rotza, feminine singular. So, now, any questions, comments, complaints? We're not going to deal and recap what we went over concerning the past tense, because we didn't really get into the past tense. All right? When we come back next month, Father willing, then we'll, Father willing, the weather will be a lot warmer. We're going to crack this heat. We're going to go in. We're going to go into the lot of hey verbs, the payload verbs, how each of them function. We're going to go into what they call inflections, how you put a noun and a verb together, how you formulate the sentence. Why is a sentence, why is Joseph's sentences in Genesis the way that it is? Yeah, we're going to go and use the scriptures in our support and our stance as well. This is something that we want to sit there and emphasize on in this particular case. All right? So, Father willing, after this particular lesson right here, all 7 lessons, Father bless, will be uploaded. You can watch it at your leisure, and so forth and so on. That's not a Hebrew word. And these are just certain things that we want to sit there and emphasize on. All right? So, okay, that was just a call on line. That was a word. Yeah, I'm just going to put follow up, please, because that reads good. Yeah. That reads snack. All right, so, what we're going to be dealing with is the next aspect, which we didn't go over, but with the time allotted, because we have until 9 p.m. in our Hebrew class that's been established, we're going to learn how to count. And that's important. You don't want to go too far and not know how to count 1, 2, whatever. All right? And when I say count, I'm not talking about no offensive opinion. like the way the biblical verses are said, oh, Lamed is 30. No, we ain't doing that. As far as what I mean in that particular case. All right? When I say count, I'm talking from 1 to 1,000. We're going to learn how to count in Hebrew from 1 to 1,000. This is now the 18th of April, 7:59 p.m. By 8:10, the same date, we're going to know how to count from 1 to 1,000. All right, you ready? Let's go. So we have Echad is the word for what? 1. Right, the number 1. All right. Then we have, as stated, within the next 10 to 11 minutes, not to try to sit there and sound bossy or anything of that sort. We're going to know how to count from 1 to 1,000 in Hebrew before this lesson is out. All right, so we're going to go in there. Echad means 1. Now, these are the masculine ways of counting. All right, because there's a masculine and feminine. Plagiarizing my teacher, Moreh Sha'el, in Hebrew. He stated that Hebrew is the language of gender. If I'm speaking to a female about our daughters, there is a, if I were to say our 3 daughters, there is a word for 3 that's different than if I were to say our 3 sons. All right, so let's go on because we're on the time limit that I personally set. All right, so Echad. Then we got Shanayim. Not going to rush it, but let's see and show how Hebrew is not difficult. Shanayim means 2, right? Now, if you remember before, anything that had the ayin is the dual, D-U-A-L, dual plural. Mitzrayim, Yerushalayim, Makanayim, and so forth and so on. All right, Mishkafayim. Anybody know what Mishkafayim is? Because I actually have to get some soon. Mishkafayim means eyeglasses. I need some, I'm squinting. You understand? So this is just to give an example. Okay, then we have, all right, okay, feel free to comment, anybody in the audience. Shalosha, this is actually my daughter's name. Shalosha means 3, all right? Then we got Arba'a, meaning 4. Right? Arba'a, 4, F-O-U-R. Right? Then we got 5, Khamisha. Khamisha means 5. Echad, Shanayim, Shalosha, Arba'a, Khamisha. Anybody know the word for 6? The word for 6 is Shisha. All right? 6. S-I-X. She, 6. Then we have 7, which is Shiva. If you've been noticing, I stopped writing the English Echad, Shanayim, because we already went over the alphabet and the vowels. So if you've been following along, and they would see it like, oh, okay, boom, this is Shlosha, this is Arba'a, this is Khamisha. All right? 7. Then we got 8. Anybody know the word for 8? Shabona means 8. All right? Shemona is the Hebrew word for 8. Then we have the word for 9. Anybody know what that is? All right? It's Tisha. Okay. Is 9. It ends with an ayin, by the way. All right? Next, we have the word for 10. Is the Hebrew word Tisha, and then we have Asar. Now, for Hebrew edification, the Hebrew word Asir means rich. The Hebrew word ether means type, because that's King Israel. They give types of the tenth of whatever they have. Just to give an example as far as that's concerned. So then we have Esther, Echad, Shanayim Shalosha, Arba'a Kamisha, Shisha Shi'a, Shemona Tisha Asada. If you notice, the Shawah is here, the Shawah is here, the Shawah is here, the Shawah is here, the Shawah is here. The Kwamat, the Patat, the Kwamat, the Kiri, the Kolam, the Seyo, and that's about that. Okay, so we are 1 through 10. That's how that particular aspect works in here. Questions, comments, huh? 10? I saw. That's how you say 10. All right? Oh, my bad. It's Tisha. I know that before. And I saw it. Oops. Tisha and Asar. 9 and 10. This is the masculine aspect. All right? So I just want that to be noted for edification purposes. Leah gave birth to Levi or Levi. And she said, what? What did she say? That she has Banim Shalosha, 3 sons. So that's how you know, speaking about obeying Shimon and Levi, that the Shalosha, though it ends with the A, this one right here in the Kramatz, that's actually still nonetheless in the masculine form. I gotta open that door. So that really is good. Thank you. Okay, questions, comments, complaints, anybody? Okay, maybe not until 8:10, but before we're done, we want to learn how to count now. All right, so the way you would sit there and use this in a particular aspect in the feminine, I'm going to go over as well. All right, because that's important too. So was it when big? You understand? So, going to use a new highlighter for clarity purposes. And here we go. We have 1 is what? Akat. Right? Then we have 2, which is what? Shatayim. Then we have 3, which is the Shalosh. I want to emphasize that Sheen with the dot, the digest also serves as the Lamed, holding the O as the Konam. All right? Now this is the feminine 1 through 10. Akat Shatayim, Shalosh. Then we have 4, which is Araba. Then we have 5, Kamesh. Right? Then we have 6, Shesh. I'm gonna move out the way, people. I know. Then we have Sheba, which means 7. We have Malachi in the house. Shalom, my shalom, Tato. What we're going over is we're recapping our stuff. Masculine, we went over so far. Haisha Zez and Ish, we went over everything already. And so forth and so on. We went over some verb, we went over Ratza, Ani Rokse, He Rokza, the difference between O-E, O-E-Et, Kotet, Kotebet, and O-E and O-A. When you have a Hey as the final letter, then it's not on the board now. In verbs, it makes it aspect of not so much feminine, but more so in a verb case, it's more so saying that it's a nominative verb.
Okay.
So that's how that works with that. We went also, when we was doing the alphabet and the vowels, the word Yosef. Now, if you look in your Bengahuda dictionary under Yasaf, you're going to see a pay and a yo next to it. That signifies is what they call a payo verb. So then we got, you still writing this down, Aki? You still writing this down here? All right. So, are you writing down this part here? All right. I'm going to erase this and continue on with the time that we have allotted. We're going to know, maybe I overstood the gun with saying we're going to be in 10 minutes, but we're going to know how to count from 1 to 1,000 in Hebrew. It's easy. It's not hard. And you will see it's not going to be, okay, this is 97, this is 98. And you're going to start on done. All right, feminine. The Hebrew word for feminine for 8 is what? Anybody? Shemoneh. Correct. Shemona is the masculine.
Okay.
It seems to be a little change up the difference, and my emphasis is that when Leah gave birth to Levi, she said, "This time I bore 3 sons, Shalosh Bani." So you might think Shalosh will be masculine, but Shalosh is a masculine, and Shalosh is a feminine. They refer to that in Hebrew as irregular, but it's what it is. All right, Shemona. Then we have 9, Kesha. Then we have 10, Asal.
So it's the same as how you say both.
What do you mean? No, 10 masculine is Asal, and feminine is Asal. So I just wanted to, like you say, Asal and Ashim, you would say 10 women. All right, just how that works in that particular case. Questions, comments about anything? All righty, okay. Akeem, you still writing that part? All right, you need time to write? All right, cool. Oh, all right, cool. All right, cool. Now we're going to sit here and deal, how would you say 20 and so forth and so on. All right? 20 is either masculine or feminine. That one doesn't change. And I know I skipped to 11 through 19 for a reason. All right? 20 is the word es-arim. Right? It is the plural of the word afar or afara. All right? Now, Esrim, Nashim, 20 women. Esrim, Anashim, 20 men. That doesn't matter. All right? So Esrim is 20. Then we have 30. Anybody know how to say 30? 30 is Shaloshim. It's the plural of the word shalosh. You see these words in Genesis 18, after the 50 lie, after the 40 righteous, after the 30 righteous, after this is to show you in Hebrew, in the scriptures, this is where you can find it. Alright? Shaloshim. As stated, that guess serves as the pronoun for the lamed and the shin. It holds dual purposes. Then we have 40. I know I seem like I'm skipping, but I'm gonna show the pattern. Father bless. Anybody know 40? Arba'in. You see this in the book of Exodus, 40 days and 40 nights. Arba'in yom wa arba'in layla. Arba'in, 40, 50. Anybody? I'm sorry? No. Kamishim. Well, you said, my Lord, is 60. All right? You're right, Malachi, and you was right, but you was right for 60. So we going good. Kamishim is 50. Right. You're basically pluralizing that aspect. Now, mind you, the word for one to pluralize it, akadim, ekad is one. Akadim means some. That means some. Like you say, akadim, akadim and anashim, some of the men. You know, just to give an example. So you have kamishim, then you have 60, which is shishim.
I want to know how would you say 40?
40 in English is 40. 40 in Hebrew, sorry if I went too fast, or if it can't be seen as arba'in. Arba'in, like arba is 4. Oh, in the English letters? No problem. Yeah, anytime someone has it like that, let me know so I can help. It's not about moving fast, it's about being understood. We have it, arba'in. All right, so that's how the best way to spell it. And I'll rewrite it in Hebrew for edification purposes. Arba'in. You see that word a lot. For those who are lovers of the Strong's Concordance, you can look up 40 in there and see it in there. So, just to give an example, arba'in, 40, shishim, 60. The word for money literally is kesef, but that's really a color. It literally means silver. So how means gold, and hakol means blue, and tekelet is also blue, and edom is red, and laban is white, and tapuz is orange, and shakor is black. All right, but I'm sorry. Shekel, yeah, that's a different type. When we deal with the shekel, the sanctuary shekel, that means more so of that priestly aspect and that priestly Torah Aki. So then so is that understood? The brother asked the people say, I can't hear in the audience. What they're saying is, the brother was saying shekel would mean money, but shekel literally would mean just a shekel, but that's dealing with a particular aspect of currency of the priesthood. So that's when that to be noted when we read about the shekel of the sanctuary and the Tanakh, that is speaking about a particular aspect of something. All right, so arba'in means 40. The plural of the word arba, so 4 pluralized in Hebrew is 40. All right, so we're going to move on. So far we're up to 60. If you remember, shesh is 6 in the feminine, shisha is 6 in the masculine. Then we got shesh, shishim. We have shiv'im, means 7. Shemoni, eight, right? Tish'im, you don't see that one a lot. 90, 19 has an E in it. Then, anybody know the word for 100? What do you think it is? It starts with an M, yes. The word for 100, and I use this example when my daughter was younger, she was walking, bust, and fell. Got back up like nothing happened. But if we seem to be over, like later teens, even in their 30s, I don't know what to call. If children will run, fall, get up like that happened, we as adults or pre-adults should not be worried like, well, it's what it is. They're learning how to run and walk, so they're going to stumble. You're in the ballpark. The word for 100 is me'ah. Me'ah. And just want to sit there and have that to be noted. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you're dealing with Esrim, 20, Shaloshim, 30, Arba'im, 40, Kamishim, 50, Shishim, 60, Shib'im, 70, Shamonim, 80, Tish'im, 90, or Me'ah, 100. That's either masculine or feminine. You don't sit there and change the gender. There's no Shishima or Kamishima. It's just what it is in that particular case. So, now, any questions, comments, complaints? All right. What we're going to do now is go back to know how to sit there and say 21, 22, 23, and show the pattern in that particular case. Right? That's how Ibri works. I'm not trying to. So that's how that particular aspect goes with that. We said the word for 20 is S3. The plural of the word asal. So it's like 10. Like 10 and 2. S 3, 20. Now, 21 is different ways. You will see it in the Tanakh as 1 and 20, 20 and 1. You will see it like that. So there really is no correct way. Sometimes you will see 1 and 20, 1 and 30, 1 and 40, it's saying it's 41. That's what that's saying. All right? So I just want to give that analysis as far as that's concerned with that. We have Esrim Echad, 21. Esrim Shanai, 22. Esrim Shalosha, 23. Esrim Arba'ah, 24. Esrim Hamisha, 25. 26 is then what? Esrim Shisha. Esrim Shimon. No, 7 is Shiva. Shiva, my bad. Then Esrim Shiva. Then we'll say Esrim Shimona. Esrim Tisha. Then Kamishim, which is 3rd. Then you go Kamishim Echad, Kamishim Shanayim, and that's how that works in that. I was not going over that each time. So now you already know how to say 51, 52, 53, 69, 62, 64, easy. Ibri goes by pattern. All right, so I just want that to be noted for edification purposes. So I'm going to erase this and write it a little bit better. But that may goes to just being able to follow along. Because the numbers seem to confuse some people as far as it goes with that. All right, so in that particular aspect, we had, just pick one. I'm going to pick Shishim, right? Which means what? 60. Esrim Shatayim. But you're saying it in the feminine. Because Shanayim is the masculine. And Shatayim is the feminine. So I just want to sit there and have that to be noted. So Shishim, Kamishim, Arba'im, when you're even saying it with its feminine aspect, it's still in. when you're saying the 60, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 90, the 80, the 70, so forth and so on. Now, just so that to be noted, that's 62. All right? Now, in Hebrew, we went over the fact that the word me'ah means 100. Right? Now, the way to say 200 is what? Matayim. Correct. Makanayim means two camps. Right? Right. So Ayin usually represents the door of it. Like Mizrayim, double the straight and blah, blah, blah. I may I. So you have Matayim. Means 200. If you remember, our thumb here turns to the top, our sister. A becomes tau when you're showing the aspect of it. It's not me atayim means 200. Some people say it as this. I've seen this as well. All right, in case somebody's following along. Matayim. You will see it written as both. Both meaning 200. All right? So I just want that to be noted for edification purposes. All right? So, how would we say 300? Shalosh me'ot. Right. No, I've never seen, honestly, where I've seen it where it said 103. I've seen it say 300, Shalosh me'ot. Arba me'ot. Right. Tamish me'ot. 500. Right. I've never seen like in the Tanakh or anywhere else where the 100 was put in front of the word unless you're saying 105 or 106 or 102. When you're saying 500, 600, 700, you use that word me'ah. But it becomes, because you're speaking about more than 100, me'ah becomes ma'ot. Remember the ah, right? It comes ot when you pluralize it. Same pattern. Even remember, is a patternized language. It's not like you fall way out there like that. So when you go, oh, it's hard. Nah, it's not. It's just different.
So how would you say 300 again?
I'm gonna write that out. All right. With 10 minutes past, getting to, huh? Now, what you just said is 30,000. Or so I say 30,000. No, shalosh ma'ot. I'm gonna write that out. And then we're gonna go all the way from there to 1,000. And that will be how to count. See, it's easy. Once you understand Hebrew as a pattern, it's very easy. Very easy. You know, it's almost like math in this pattern. Any questions with this so far? All right. To the people who do comment in the Hebrew class, I appreciate it. It's much love and respect. I've spoken to some of the people on inbox on Facebook, some of them on the telephone. So I do take the advice that's given. So I say explain as opposed to break down. Because somebody suggests instead of saying break it down, to say explain it. Because it sounds nice. So I said, okay, no problem. All right. We got me'ah is 100. The plural of that is ma'ot. All right? So, you will have No. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't follow that. 200, you already went over here on my time. It doesn't form that. All right. 300 is how that starts. All right. So you have shalosh, ma'ot. You see that in Judges with Yitzhak and them. In Judges chapter 11, verse 26, you see that the 300 years when they were having it out with the Midianites. You see that right there. Right? Shalosh ma'ot. 300. I'm not writing the whole thing out. Then we got Arba. Ma'ot. Right? 400. Then we got Kamish Ma'ot. I'm sorry? Low. We have Sheish Ma'ot. 500. No, for 600? Yeah, Sheish Ma'ot. Right? So we got Sheish Ma'ot 600. Then we got Shabbat Ma'ot. You hardly ever see that one. 700. All right. So what's up? 600, 700. We had our buddy again, number 8. 800, anyone? Shimon Ma'ot. Shimon Ma'ot. Right. If you notice all the Sheish, Shabbat, Kamish, it's a feminine aspect. So Shimon, what the hell? I wrote Shemina. That means fat. And then we got 900. Anyone? Tisha Ma'ot. You hardly see that, but it's, it's there. Yeah, you hardly see that. But just for edification purposes. So if you were to say 901, you would say Tisha Ma'ot where high. 901. Tisha Ma'ot which time? 902, 903, 904, 910. Tisha Ma'ot wa asar. That's how that works with that. All right? You can say 10 and 900, but in that case, you just put the 10, the 11, the 12, so forth at the end of that. All right? Are there any questions or comments? Okay. So, any questions or comments in here? All right. So, what we're going to do, anybody know how to say 1,000? Beitza means egg. The word beitza means egg. Beitza is egg. Yeah. This is how you spell it in Hebrew, by the way. Beitza. It means egg. The Hebrew word for 1,000, aleph, or elef. 1,000. Also means clan. Now, in this book, I'll point out the 600,000 that Exodus talks about is actually 600 clans. That's what it's talking about. So just want that to be noted. That's why the language is important. So LF means 1,000 or a clan. All right? So that's how that works with that. So we already know how to count from 1 to 1,000, and that's masculine or feminine. You'll say Allah, you say alafim. Like you'll say shalosh alafim, 3,000. Arba alafim, 4,000. Just to give an example. All right. So sometimes you will see an alafim with that, or sometimes you just see it as aleph. Shalosh aleph still means 3,000. All right. I'm gonna write down what I'm saying. You will see 3,000 such as this: shalosh, aleph, sometimes then you will see it as this. All right, both meaning the same thing, 3,000, 3,000. All right, questions, comments? Same thing with arba, elef, arba, alafim, so forth and so on. All right, so now if you were to say elef, but arba, that's 1,004. That's not 4,000. All right, so I just want that to be noted for edification purposes.
Hold on. Elef for 4,000.
What I'm saying is the word elef means 1,000 or clan. If I said elef with echad, I'm saying 1,001. If I said elef with shalosha or elef with shlosh, I'm saying 1,003. 1,003. Excuse me. But if I would say shalosh elef, I'm saying 3,000. The difference between 1,003 and 3,000. So just want to sit there and let that be noted for edification purposes. All right, I'm gonna write that up. So you have 3,000, then you have 1,003, right? That will be as such. Elef Shlosh, 1,003. Elef Arba, 1,004. The difference between 3,000 and 1,003. Shlosh Elef, 3,000. Elef Shlosh, 1,003. All right, so just for Hebrew edification, just want that to be noted and understood. All right? Please feel bad, good. For real. Questions, comments, complaints, anyone? Okay. Now, how do you say yes in Hebrew? How do you say no? How do you say please? Okay. How do you say no or there is none? You can say low fs. There is zero, there is zilch, like that. But the Kumorso word is the word ain. Ain Elohei Kimoya. There is no God like that. So, just to give an example, all right? Ain. There is no, or there is no, or not. Ain. I say this in prayer sometimes. I ain't shouted like Yahweh. There is none like unto the Most High. Ain't shouted like Yah. There is none like unto that, or unto the Most High. You see, just want to give an example as far as that's concerned in that particular case. Ibrit is easy. It is not hard. All right? Just want that to be noted for edification purposes. So we have no or not, there is no, there is not, and aim. We also have lo. We also have came. And the brother Chief Malachi stated the word about kwasha. Now, why am I picking on this? Is because these are commonly used words and want to sit there and emphasize what we're talking about. No or not. You see this obviously in Exodus 20. Lo tirozah, thou shalt not murder. Okay, came means yes or so. Or yeah, asuk came and they did so. Right? The first base is actually a suffix, pardon me, prefix. It means in or with. All right? The next one we see here is bakwash, meaning what? Anybody? To request. Bakwasha, a request. The bakwasha, in a request, in a petition. All right? Bakwasha. So just want to sit there and have that to be noted. Now means what? Please, please. It's more than like a plea, please. Now, like pray, I tell thee. That's what that is. Hagidi nali, tell me, I pray thee. Mashimka or mashimek if that's feminine. Right, what is your name? All right, just want to emphasize that case. When Joseph was stolen, he stated just that. I was stolen from the land of the Hebrews. We already went over early in the book, blessed be God, that was published, that Hebrew and Kabiru of the Sumerian or the Abiru of the Egyptian, similar terminology for the same aspect. So that's something I want to emphasize for a reason. We know this na, please, lo, came, bakusha, na. These are manners. All right? We'll go over a couple more with the time allotted. Am I able to? And I call Ani. You know, I is I or I am. I call Ani. Am I able to? Question 4. All right? I call Ani Alekitika. Am I able to go with you? I call Ani. The female will say, I call Ani. Right. I call Ani. Comes from the Hebrew word Yaakov, which means to be able to prevail or to have the ability to do such. Right? Is the masculine. It's the feminine. All right? I call Ani, I call Ani. Now, you find that word Yaakov inside the 201 Hebrew verb book. And we went over about in lesson 4 or 5 about the pronouns, Aniyata, Ahui, so forth, so on. All right, so I just want to emphasize that particular case. Why is it said as I call Ani and not Ani Haikol? Because of this. It's a question form. When you formulate a question in Hebrew in this manner, as in any other manner, you add a hey in front of it. All right? So, When Joseph revealed who he was to his brothers, and he said, the old man is my father yet alive. Hazakwen ha'abi hakai. Hakai, is he alive? Hakai abi, is my father alive? The hey, I keep telling y'all that hey, I don't even sound rats, I'm sorry. I keep I'm saying that the letter hey is the thumb of the alphabet. See how important this is? We went over extensively last time for those who saw it about how the word hashaba breaks down, shab, shub, and everything of that sort. Okay? So we got it to where in this particular case, the hey also serves a question aspect. I call that prakakoti takana. Are you able to take me to the station? I call ata la lekit ito takana. Are you able to go with him to the station? I call ani la lekit itiken takana. Am I able to go with you all to the station? The hey signifies, you put this as a prefix. All right? In this particular case, I call Hakai Abi, is my father alive? He's asking a question. So when you put it in that form as stated, you add a hey with it. All right? So I just want to emphasize in that particular case, as stated, next, which is April 25th on the Gregorian calendar, there is no Hebrew class because it's doing the Feast of Unleavened Bread. But the week after, so-called Monday, on what they call May 2nd, Father bless, we're going to really crack down and get into this. And why is it like, oh, you're saying you're going away? Because it's all online. So if you got any questions, don't hesitate to ask a question from lesson 2. If you don't, or speak out, if you want clarity on it. All right? Because the goal of this, apparently, is by the end of the summer, is that way everybody be able to speak and read it for yourselves. And then we'll make moves on from that particular aspect how the class will go. But just want to sit there and emphasize in that particular case. All right? I call ID. Am I able to? Masculine and feminine. All right? Questions, comments? No. All right. No is the answer to that. So, now with about a couple of like close to 10 minutes, is there any question online or from the people in here that is not something we went over that you may want addressed in Hebrew? Anything at all? Anybody online? Anything that you, no matter how far-fetched it may seem, as realist or baby step, is there anything or any question that has not been addressed so far with the 10 or so minutes that we have allotted to the class timing, then can be asked at this point? Perhaps. Okay. All right. So, until somebody comes up with one, I am going to go on and do what I was going to do. All right? We have this right here. A board. Lu'ak is how it's said. Right? Ze Lu'ak. Halu'ak hazeh. Zeluak means this is a board, right? Haluak hazeh, this board. Ze ha-luak, this is the board. Haluak hazeh, this board. Haluak hazeh tov, this board is good. Haluak hazeh, haluak hatov hazeh, this good board. This is important to understand Hebrew grammar. Now, for those who are following from old Hashab, you know, you had the elders there who were called a Kohen and so forth, right? You have Ha-Kohen, it means what? The priest. The priest. Ha-Kohen, Hagadol. The high priest. Right. Ha-Kohen, Now, Kohen comes from the Hebrew word kihan, which means to administer. So when it says, let them dress Aaron and his sons, lekahen li, in the minister's office to minister unto me, when you go in the book, I think that's Exodus 28. But the Hebrew word Kohen comes from the Hebrew word kihen, which means to administer. All right? So HaKohen Hagadol, the high priest. HaKohen Gadol, the priest is high. Drop the head, you get the word is in there. That's how Hebrew works. Questions, comments? Did they ask anything that we haven't, that they care to know anything about? Okay, then we're going to go on to another aspect. Because we're not going to go real deep in the 8th lesson. Let's go over little pins and points here and there with the time allotted because of the schedule that we're dealing with. All right? So, here we go. There are 7 stems in Hebrew in verbs. All right? I asked the people to get to 201 Hebrew verb book. And shout out to the sister Higdalia, because she's bought it. Not to put anybody's business out there. I might get an inbox like, don't do that. But who knows? All right, so 7 stems. And it's as such. You have the qual stem. Qual simply means easy. All right, shamor, matzah, so on, so on. Then we have the PL. No, we do not have that. We have leaf out. Right? Leaf out. Right? This is the passive. And this is the active. So this is the chart. The chart is passive. My hand is active. Yadi maka haluak. My hand is hitting the board. My hand is hitting the board. This is passive. My hand is active.
So mark does it actually mean beat and hit?
Well, literally, beat is when they want to be born. It literally be strike or hit. You know what I mean? So as far as it goes in that particular case, because beat sounds worse than hit. You know what I mean? So as far as it goes in that particular case. So you got qual, leaf al, then you got the PL, right? The active, the passive. This is the intensification of the qual. Now, shak means to kiss. In the PL, we shake, to kiss intently. Shabal, to break, in the qual. Shiber, in the PL, to shatter. It intensifies whatever you're talking about. In certain cases, it's the causative. But that's extremely weird. Extremely. All right? I'll put rare, please understand that. Then we have the PL, or the pual, that is, sorry. Right? This is the passive of the PL. Shabar, to break. Nishbar, to be broken. Shiber, to shatter. Shubar, to be shattered. He azbani, what God can't leave me shubra. She left me, my heart was shattered. Just to give, just to give an example like that. You understand? Then we have the hifil, right? The causative. 90% of the time, not the reader like this one, of the qual. Mashak, not Messiah, but Mashak, to pull. Hamshake, you add the hey, our friend the thumb here, to continue. Hamshik, you will continue. You hear that a lot. Hamshik. What you're telling the person is to continue whatever they're saying, or so forth and so on. Or if you're a black parent, Hamshik. I mean, it's a pop, Hamshik. You know what I'm saying? Like I did, like what? Continue, sarcastically. Let's give an example like that. Then we have the half up, right? And that is the passive, and you hardly see this one. Hardly. The passive of the qual. right? Oh, pardon me, of the Hebrew, sorry. Passive of. All right? So, hamshek to continue. Hamshak to be continued. Hasipur mamshuk. Or hasipur mamshak. The story is being continued. The story is continued. The story continues. The story is being continued. What is the causative of this? This is the passive of that. You're causing it to be prolonged or continued. What's that word there? Then we have our friend here, which is the end, and we're going to class here towards tonight until May, is hipael, which literally means, the word hipael literally means to impress. Right? Like Paul means easy. Well, hipael means to impress. And you see that more than you see this. You will see the hipael stem more than you will ever see the whole owl stem. So that's how that goes in that. Certain Jewish books, quote unquote, use the hipael in the fifth stem, but we don't, as the House of Israel, because, well, that's what I learned under Mario Moshe. So I'm sticking with that. Okay, so what the hipael does is the reflexive. I want to have this to be seen. This is the reflexive of such. Rakat means to wash. Hit rahet, to wash oneself. Rakat tea, right? If you want to use it like that. Now we're dealing with the word that has the resh, the ket, and the zadeh tofit. Rakat, you see that quite often in Leviticus for the word mas, right? Rakat. Then you have hit raket. That's not it. Let's go on. This is distracting. Rakat to wash. Heat. Raket. To wash oneself. Rakat teeth, I washed. Rakat tika, I washed you. I used to say that to my little one. Rakat teeth, I washed you. Speaking to a female. That's another term. So rakat heat raket. He washed himself. He rakat teeth, I washed myself. I mean meat raket. I am washing myself. That is the reflexive. Something you're doing like a reflex, like emotional, it comes back to you. That kind of thing. Well, the reflexive is actually something done to oneself. Israelites would say something to the effect of, because the Hebrew word for play is tikek. Tisakek means you will play. You see what I'm saying? So, tisakek means to play oneself. I'll tisakek, go play yourself. That would be an example like that. You see what I'm saying? So, I want to emphasize that too. I'll take a and become the house, no time. Leviticus 19:29. It forbids follows. All right? You have the word lo. How this is connected with what I'm talking about. You got the word ah. Means no and not. Or don't. Al tele, don't go. Al tadabir, don't speak. Al tikale, do not profane. Et bika, your daughter that has no time to cause her to be a harlot. That's how that goes in that particular case. Al telek, don't go. So you have two aspects of the negative. Al, no or don't or not, and lo, which is the future tense of it. So you just take that future tense, put it with the word al, it becomes don't whatever. Al tash boat, don't stop. Just to give an example. So any questions, comments? We done with that. But I just want to go over all of this right here. All this will be online. Any questions, please feel free to sit there and comment. And I'm going to sit there and state now how this can be applied. All right, because I didn't want to do it during the lesson because that would have took from the time. This book here is entitled Egypt Talk and Writing. Did the Torah come from the culture of Talmud? For those understood, Talmud is a part of northern Egypt. Some people say that Torah came from the principles of Ma'at of Egypt, which is not the case. Okay, so you can get this on createspace.com. CREATESPACE. Createspace.com or Amazon.com. Or you can, I'm going to advertise this right here if I can. A particular website. Kind of long, but I'll write it out. Night publications dot base aguda.org. And when you go there, that website will take you to how to be able to get this. All right. So it's 320 pages. My email is on here for those who are interested in it. And I will write also the ISBN number for those who want to get it the other way. It's 978 15 308 81918. That's the ISBN number of it. And I looked it up there myself. I called Barnes and Noble and acted like, do you happen to have this? They pulled it up. Oh, no, we don't have that. I'll let you know. So, as far as it goes in that particular case, you heard the lady like, oh! I was like, whatever. But it's available online, open to constructive criticism, and so forth and so on. There's a lot of Hebrew notes in there, and that's what it is with that. So we won't call now C because the class is over, it's 9 p.m. And Lala Tov Shalom. Good. That's fine. I'm gonna get the princess on GP. As far as it goes in that. That was out 2 weeks ago. I just think that was. Oh, okay, so Malachi was it? Yeah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Lord, have a hallowed Hades, Lord, Hades forever. Great is your name, and worthy to be praised. Oh, Heavenly Father, we humbly ask that you protect those that see it and our family alive. Guide us, shield us, protect us, keep us safe throughout the week, oh great King. Oh, Heavenly Father, we look down upon our efforts as we prepare for Pesach, for Kag Matzo, oh great King. Oh great King, so that for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So that you're all for giving us a holy tongue. So that for giving us a culture that's second to none. So that, oh great King, for taking us out of falsehood and out of religion. Oh great King, we humbly beseech you and ask that you watch over us now physically present, but watch over our brothers and our sisters down online, oh great King. Amen. Continue to bless us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of your holy tongue, oh great King, that we can apply it to our lives. To understand your Torah even better than we understand it now, oh great King. For you are our power, from the rising of the sun to the going down of the earth. You are worthy to be praised, from this time, even forevermore. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Praise the mighty God, praise the mighty God. So awesome. And we are done. That's my